Hello Film Worlders, it's me, your host, Micah Pendleton, and welcome to Film World Community. So, right after the questions, we have a contest update for the Annoying Orange contest, but before we do that, of course, we gotta do the usual and get into some questions. So, the first question comes from DJ Minecart. He says, do you like snakes? That has nothing to do with filmmaking, but I'll answer it anyway. I guess. I don't hate him. You're cool. They're snakes. Moving on. Alright, so the next question comes from TARDISmaker. He asks, did you switch back to Ubuntu? The reason why he's asking this is because in last Sunday's video, which was not a full episode of Premiere Prep, I showed my laptop screen and it was running Ubuntu 16.04. And to answer the question short is yes. I've been running Fedora now for 8 months or whatever. I was running it on actually my laptop and my desktop, and then I put 16.04 on my laptop. And besides a bit of a networking problem, it was running great and everything, so I thought, what the heck, Ubuntu 16.04 is out, which is a stable, long-term stable release, and which means that Ubuntu Studio has released a new one. And I had used Ubuntu Studio in the past and loved it, but thought it was getting out of date a little bit with all the new updates that had been coming and all that. So I had left Ubuntu Studio. Well, so with 16.04 out, I thought I'd try it again. So I installed it on my desktop, and I'm now running Ubuntu Studio on my desktop, which I'm sure you'll see in the near future. And it's been running good, except again for the networking problems, which I talked to the developers of Ubuntu Studio, and they said that it has been fixed. So with some updating and everything, it definitely should be working fine. But also, the version of Kdenlive that's pre-installed on 16.04, 15.12.3, it's been quite unstable, which has been very frustrating. So I'm going to try to figure out... I put 16.04 of Kdenlive on this laptop, and I think I'm going to do the same with the desktop, because I think that is a stable release. I really don't know. It's at least got to be more stable than what's on there now. It's pretty bad. So anyway, long story short, yes, I am back on Ubuntu systems, and I'm liking it so far, besides a couple of minor issues, mostly with stability of software. Well, Kdenlive, just really... Alright, so next question comes from Two Black Cats Productions. He says, random question, have you taken the Myers-Briggs personality test? No, I'm a little scared of what my result would be. Yeah, that might actually be kind of funny to take. So, no, I haven't. And the last question comes from Nicholas Hamilton. He asks, have you ever tried using Blender to make games? Games has just been something that's never interested me, but I did play with it a little bit at one point, just because I thought, you know, might be kind of fun, because I was really getting into the 3D side of Blender and filmmaking in general and stuff for a while. In fact, for quite a while, all I really did was just 3D model stuff. But yeah, I made like this little first-person shooter. I actually made like Type 2 phaser from Star Trek, what was that? First Contact. Why was I blank on that? But I made a phaser from First Contact, and you know, I made it to fire the phaser rounds, and it was pretty cool, and it had a little counter at the top that said how many rounds you got in. When you hit reload, it would lift the gun, and a magazine would go back in, and it'd come back down, and you could fire again. And I never got much further than making it turn and fire and run out of bullets and put it back in. I did make it hit a cube around and stuff, but I never did anything much past that. But I played with it a little bit, and honestly, game making is just not me. It's filmmaking. And that's all I really use Blender for. But knowing how to use the game engine can be quite useful, because you could generate all kinds of really cool things with Blender's game engine and use it within your films. So, or even make a game for your film. Alright, so that does it for the questions. Thank you very much for sending those in. If you would like your question read on this show, definitely comment down below or send me an email. Those are probably the best ways to get in contact with me to do that. So yeah, I would definitely love to have your guys' questions. So next question, not next question. The next part is the annoying orange contest update. It is an update. I'm sorry, I'm not announcing the winners this time. I've gotten in several submissions, but there were also several people who said they're so close, but there's just not enough time for them to finish it. And I was thinking about it. I was, discussing it with Michael as well, and we were just like, 2 weeks is probably not long enough to do it. I mean, I would think it would be, but really it needs to be a month. So I am extending it 2 more weeks, and that will be it. At the end of the 2 weeks, the Annoying Orange contest will be over, and I will crown the winner. All right, so definitely get in your submissions. If you started working on something but you haven't been able to finish it yet, definitely finish it and submit it. So I've gotten some really cool ones already, and I can't wait to see what else you guys are going to send in as well. And do remember, it will also get aired on this show when I announce the winners. All right, so definitely do that. Let's move on. Let me see. Yes, if you want more details to the contest, you can click up here, and you will be in. Just go to the port where we're talking about it, and we lay out all the rules, length, and all that kind of stuff if you don't know that already. And it's also not too late to even start doing one, because 2 weeks is definitely enough time to get one made. So definitely do that. All right, good luck at that, and definitely cannot wait to see your submissions. All right, so we've been moving through this pretty quick. It's now time for our movie recommendation. This is one of my favorite parts because I love recommending these movies that I personally love and probably you guys haven't seen, and I just would love to see you guys see them. It is the original King Kong from 1933. I watched this movie and I was thinking, oh, 1933, it's going to be, horrible and all that. Well, maybe according to today's standards, it wouldn't exactly hold up in theaters as a fresh release, but it is fantastic. The visuals are absolutely stunning, especially when you think of what they did back then to even make that happen. It was absolutely incredible. Acting, maybe a little something to be desired there, but just as a whole, it's a fun movie, definitely a classic, something I think everybody should see, and that is definitely a good recommendation. The original King Kong from 1933, which sparked so much in the future, inspired so many filmmakers. It inspired Steven Spielberg to make Jurassic Park, all kinds of monster movies. Guillermo del Toro, I believe, said that King Kong was something inspired him a little bit for Pacific Rim. It's just such a legendary movie. Not to mention Peter Jackson with Lord of the Rings, and then he made a remake of this movie in 2005. And it's just a fantastic movie. This is what started it all. So definitely you should check this out. I get a little passionate about this movie because I absolutely love it. It's really, really great. All right, so next episode of Premiere Prep is coming Sunday. It is on clamp lights versus softboxes. I just filmed some outdoor footage, which will definitely be fun. I did it at night, testing clamp lights versus softbox at night outdoors, because daytime you really just reflect light mostly. You don't use a whole lot of lights outside during daytime. But at nighttime you need a lot of lights, and it was definitely a good test for clamp lights versus softboxes, and I can't wait to show the results of it to you guys. I'm going to be analyzing that footage to death, and come up with a good verdict on that. So definitely can't wait to do that, and I think it'll probably be the best episode of Premiere Prep yet. So definitely check that out this Sunday. All right, guys, that concludes it for this episode of Film World Community. Thank you guys very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm your host, Micah Pendleton. Remember, dream big, pay small. I'll catch you next time.